Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. So you already know by the title and the thumbnail that I am pregnant with my third baby, which feels so good to be able to say out loud. If you're new here, I am a stay-at-home mom to a 3-year-old boy and a 21-month-old girl, and now we're expecting our third. So this video is going to be talking about how I found out, talking about early symptoms and kind of like a first trimester recap. So let's get started. I'm gonna apologize in advance for being out of breath because that is something that happens when you're pregnant. Something else that happens when you're pregnant is your pets get super clingy. They were already clingy before, but it's like another level now. But anyway, my voiceovers, like the past month or so, I've been so out of breath and I'm just like, I don't know if anyone can notice, but I can tell that I'm out of breath. Okay, so let's rewind to August 29th. This is the day that I found out. It was a Tuesday and I was 2 days before I missed my period. So I've never been someone who, like, I know a lot of people start testing like way early, like 7 or 8 days past ovulation, and I've never done that because if I take a pregnancy test, I want to know that whatever it says is like accurate. I don't want to take a test and there not be a line and think like, well, maybe it's too early because I'm like testing a week after I ovulated, you know, like if it's negative, I want to know like, okay, the answer is negative. I don't have any false hope and like, let's move on. And I was planning on waiting until at least the day my period was supposed to come, but that 2-week wait period is just like so long. And you obviously have to treat your body as if you're pregnant, even though you don't know if you're pregnant or not. And obviously you're just like super anxious to find out if you did conceive. So we went ahead and decided I was supposed to start my period on Thursday. Tuesday, I decided to take a test. And if you don't know, you're supposed to test with your first morning urine because your pee gets like diluted throughout the day. So it's like most accurate if you test in the morning. So I didn't want to take a test in the morning because my oldest had preschool and then my husband was going to work. Like I just wanted to wait until that night. It's like just my husband and I could take the test together after the kids went to bed and we didn't have like any distractions. So I peed in a cup and then I saved it the whole day. And then that night our kids were asleep. My husband and I were like, all right, let's take the test. And I don't know why I was like shocked to see it say positive. I've been surprised every single time that I've taken a test and it be positive all 3 times now. I don't know why. I just like in my mind feels like it's too good to be true. And like early, and like I said, I would talk about my early symptoms and I will later, but like early on, you know, like you don't have many symptoms, or if you do have symptoms, it's very similar to the symptoms of your period. It's hard to like, even as a 3rd-time mom now, it's hard to like pinpoint and be like, oh, like I can tell that I'm pregnant, you know? And I did film us finding out mainly like just for us to have and look back on. So I definitely couldn't like make a full video of it because I didn't like do an intro. I just literally like set up my phone, clicked record, and then the video was like 30 seconds long of us just like seeing the positive test and reacting to it. If people are like wanting to see that, I could definitely like post it as a short, but I just have to think about that because finding out you're pregnant is like a very intimate, special moment. And I feel like it's just so normalized now that like people share everything on the internet and that's their prerogative. Like I'm not saying that if someone else is comfortable sharing it, that it shouldn't be shared, but like people share so much about like pregnancy and birth, and you know, you just have to like be mindful of you're putting it on the internet for literally anyone to see. So yeah, let me know like in the comments if you'd want to see it as a short, but again, I like have to think about if I would actually want to upload that. And my husband was not surprised. He's had like all 3 times he's been totally confident. Every time we take a test, he's like, oh, we're pregnant. I just know it. Like, I feel like women just worry so much more about things or like think about worst case scenario, and men are just like so much more chill. So yeah, like he saw the test, he was obviously excited, but he was just like, I knew we were pregnant. And I remember just like holding my head, like I couldn't believe it. And it was like a very, very strong positive. And I remember like with my first baby, I took a test the day that I missed my period and the line was like way fainter. I did not get a digital on that day, and I did get a digital on this day 2 days before my period. And my mom had a dream, so I'm due in May. My mom had a dream like months ago before I got pregnant that I got pregnant and I was due in May with twins. So when I got pregnant and I found out I was due in May, I was like a little bit scared, and then realizing like how strong the line was, because I had like a dice dealer right at 4 weeks. And like I said, I got a positive digital like before I missed my period, and I don't think I've ever had that before. So yeah, I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I'm sure if it was twins, like, eventually we would have been excited, but, you know, we already have 2 little ones, so another 2 would have been, like, a little bit stressful. But, yeah, so that is pretty much, like, the story of how we found out. I mean, I know it's, like, not anything crazy exciting. Like, I took a test 2 days before my period came, and it was positive, and I was shocked my husband wasn't. Like, that's pretty much all that there is to it. But let's talk about early symptoms. So, really, the only one I had was being, like, super emotional. And there's obviously like things in my life that I don't share on my YouTube channel. Like most of my personal life I don't share here. It's like mostly me cleaning and decorating and cooking and things like that. And I do post like day in the life vlogs every once in a while, but like as far as my personal information goes, I just don't like really share that much. So there has been like other things going on in our lives that has caused me to be more emotional than usual. So I wasn't sure if it was that or if it was pregnancy, and I think it was like really just a combination of both. And again, like that can be a common period symptom. So that's like another thing, is as you get closer to the day your period is supposed to arrive, you're like, okay, is this pregnancy or is this period? And I know a lot of people experience like sore boobs and backaches and cramping like as early pregnancy symptoms. And again, those are like all period symptoms. So it can be really hard to tell the difference between the two. But yeah, just being like really emotional and crying a lot more than I normally do, which was continued throughout the pregnancy. That's like really the only early symptom that I had. Okay, as far as the first trimester recap book, I have this notebook. I got it from Charming Charlie, like, I don't even know, probably 10 years ago. And whenever I got pregnant, I'm calling it my pregnancy journal now, because whenever I got pregnant with my first baby, I just started writing down all my symptoms, like every day or like every other day, once a week, however often I was having symptoms. I would just write down the date, how far along I was, and what I was experiencing. And then after I gave birth, I wrote out like my birth story in here, and I did that for the second baby, and now I'm doing it again for the third baby. So this is like really special to me. And I'm not gonna like read every single like day in the symptoms, because that'd be boring, but we can say that this pregnancy's been hard. I think each one gets like more difficult. Each of my pregnancies has gotten more difficult because I'm like more exhausted from caring for more kids. And I think back to like my first pregnancy, and I mean, like that was such an easy pregnancy compared to the other 2. And I was a teacher at the time, so I was on my feet all day, so like that wasn't easy. But whenever I got home at night, it's like I could just like lay on the couch the rest of the night, or on the weekends, like I could sleep in every Saturday and every Sunday and do nothing all day. Like I didn't have anyone to take care of other than myself. So that was, you know, I can't even like imagine life like that anymore. That was really nice. And I was like halfway through my pregnancy whenever COVID hit. And so then I had to work from home, like the second half of my pregnancy. You know, I was a teacher, so I was just like teaching remotely from my couch or my kitchen table or wherever. So that like also I think was a lot easier on my body than having to go in. And then with my second baby, that was really hard because Jonah, my oldest, was only 9 months old whenever I got pregnant, and I was still breastfeeding. I breastfed him until he turned 1. So I was like breastfeeding throughout the entire first trimester. So I was just like really exhausted. And then this time, of course, I'm taking care of a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old on top of being pregnant. And now that I'm like 11 and a half weeks right now. So now that I'm almost out of the first trimester, I'm feeling so much better. I feel like a human again. And I feel like I can't really complain about the nausea that much because I never actually threw up. But I was just like nauseous and sick feeling all day long for like weeks. It was probably like that for a couple weeks. And then like for another 2 weeks, it was like in the afternoon until the kids went to bed. I was just like, if I ate, I was sick. If I didn't eat, I was sick. No matter what I ate, like nothing sounded good. And then whenever I was around like 6 weeks, and it was at its like one of the worst times, my husband was out of town for a week, and I hadn't had my first appointment yet, so our family didn't know about the pregnancy. So I couldn't like tell them, hey, I'm pregnant, come help me. So I was like taking care of both kids, like morning to night for a week. The kids and I were in a car accident. I can't remember if I think I talked about that. I can't remember. Someone rear-ended us and like we ended up being fine, but like with being in an accident with your kids and then being pregnant on top of it, whenever your husband is out of town, it was just like kind of scary, but thankfully everything was fine. But yeah, I was for like a month there. I was just really, really sick. And it's just like hard to take care of your kids. And I mean, obviously like their needs were all met, like they were fed and all of that. But as far as like, normally I try and do lots of activities with them and get out of the house with them. And it was just like TV was on like half the day, you know, it's just like survival mode. And because this is my third time, I was just like really giving myself grace because I was like, I know this is temporary. Like I know I'm going to start feeling better soon. If they watch 2 movies a day for the next few weeks, like they're going to survive, they're going to live, and then we're going to resume back to our normal lives. And that's what we've been doing like the past week or so since I've been feeling better. But yeah, like the exhaustion, the nausea was bad, but the exhaustion was just like insane. Like I just felt like I couldn't even get off the couch. Just like something as simple as like getting them a snack just felt like a huge ordeal for me. And I also feel like it's hard whenever you're early on because like you don't look pregnant yet, you can't feel the baby moving yet, and so it doesn't feel like you're pregnant kind of, and it's like, okay, why am I so tired? And then you go in for your first ultrasound and then you see like the spinal cord is developed, you can see the brain and everything, and you're like, okay, my body's been doing a lot, like that's why I'm tired. And like I was tired before I got pregnant because being a mom of 2 little ones is tiring. And yeah, I know 3 is gonna be even more tiring. But that's okay because we've gotten like some comments from people about like, oh, you really want to start over again and you want to go back to the newborn phase with sleepless nights. Like, do you know what you're doing? And I just want to say, like, if you know someone who is having a baby, whether it's their first baby or whether it's their 8th baby, just like don't say those comments because it's not helpful. And it's like really hard, like whenever you're excited about a pregnancy and you're excited to share it with people and then they like give you that kind of response and tell you that you're crazy for like doing it all over again whenever you already have 2 kids. It's just a little bit annoying, and like I said, it's not helpful. So yeah, I know like people say that and I think that they don't even understand how it sounds to the person that they're talking to, so that's why I'm saying it. Like it's just, don't say it, don't say that stuff. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of like skim through some of my notes in here. So like during week 4, I put that I was peeing a lot. I don't know if that's like something that happens earlier on with like your 2nd or 3rd or 4th baby, because I feel like, because I don't know why I feel like I have to pee a lot, but that's definitely been a thing. Week 5, I put like lightheaded and nauseous. That's another thing I've had with all my pregnancies. It's like early on, if I stand up too quickly, then I feel like super lightheaded, and like I've never fainted, but I feel like I'm about to. Super tired and emotional, cried about everything today. Week 6, I put sore nipples and boobs. Sense of smell is crazy. Oh my gosh, it's like the worst thing whenever you're nauseous and then you smell everything like times 100, and everywhere I go, I'm just like, why does it smell bad? Like I go into my house, it smells bad. I go outside, it smells bad. I go to the grocery store, it smells bad. I go to church, it smells bad. Like everywhere smells bad right now. Insomnia, that's like been another thing. That's something I've struggled with like my whole life, ever since I was a kid. And with being pregnant, I mentioned I'm posting a vlog today, which will be yesterday when you guys are seeing this. And I mentioned about how I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning and I couldn't go back to sleep. I'm so tired that like by the end of the night, whenever I go to bed, I go to sleep just fine. But because I'm pregnant, I have to get up and pee at least once a night. And then it's like, forget it. Like I'm out the rest of the night. Yeah, week 6, I wrote a lot. I said, food left out makes me want to gag. If there's like food in the sink or like food that didn't get put back in the fridge, no. Thought I was gonna throw up at church today. Only want Wendy's baked potatoes. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how many nights in a row Alex went out to Wendy's and got me baked potato for dinner because nothing else sounded good, and I like couldn't cook dinner for the kids. Normally, like if you watch my videos, you know I cook almost every single night, and like any like looking at raw meat or even just like raw vegetables. Like I remember trying to make soup one night with like chicken and celery and carrots, and even the vegetables. I was just like, I can't. The kids ended up eating like frozen chicken nuggets and mac and cheese and peanut butter and jelly, and like I said earlier, it's survival mode. I'm getting back into the swing of cooking at night, and I like it because I, first of all, enjoy cooking, but I just feel better whenever my kids have a home cooked meal as opposed to frozen chicken nuggets. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but just like, you know, on occasion, not like every night throughout childhood. Another thing is I couldn't drink coffee for like 2 or 3 weeks, which didn't help my lack of energy. But yeah, coffee, just like the thought of it made me so sick. I should have put a TMI warning at the beginning of this video, but I feel like that goes without being said if you're going to talk about pregnancy. But during week 7, I put, starting to feel like my nipples are getting bigger and darker. Yeah, that whole area just like gets big and dark whenever you're pregnant, and like it continues on if you're breastfeeding. So it's totally normal. Again, it's my 3rd time. Like I know to expect all this stuff, but yeah, it is just kind of funny. And I did at week 6, I wrote down that I tried to hand express some milk whenever I was in the shower, which whenever I was pregnant with my first, I would have had no idea how to do that. But some milk did come out. So it's just like crazy to me that my body's like already getting ready for all that. And week 7, I wrote super sad and emotional, crying while I write this. Yeah, that's gotten better the past like week or so, but my first like almost this entire time, it's been like emotional. And I did have postpartum depression with my first baby, and I know like pregnancy depression can be pretty normal. I am feeling really good right now, like the past couple weeks, since like I've physically been feeling better. I've emotionally felt a lot better too, but that is something that my doctor told me to keep an eye on just because I do have the history of PPD. But I also had my first appointment at 7 weeks, and I had my first ultrasound. The heart rate was 174, and first appointment is like always scary. We did wait to tell our families after my first ultrasound. The other 2 times we started telling people right away because for one, we were just really excited, but 2, like God forbid if something happened, like I would want my family to know and like I would want their support. I wouldn't want to like not tell them about it or say I was pregnant then I miscarried. So, but the reason that we waited this time was because our oldest is like old enough to understand now. And so I didn't want to go like tell him about it and then go to my first appointment and then like God forbid there wasn't a heartbeat or something and then trying to explain that to him. So that's why we waited, and it was a little bit fun just like have a secret between the 2 of us for a couple of months. Week 8, I wrote peeing when I sneeze. Yeah, that's a thing. Sneezed and felt like my insides were ripping apart. Yeah, I had this with Eva too, my 2nd pregnancy, right down here, sneezing, and like literally just feels like your insides are ripping apart. It's called round ligament pain. It's common and it's like harmless. It just hurts. Week 9, gagged when I blew my nose. And then I didn't write anything for week 10 other than I had my 2nd appointment with my 2nd ultrasound. The heart rate was 176 and baby is looking great. So we are super excited, super happy that I can share this with you guys because I feel like the past couple months I've obviously definitely been slacking on uploading. If you like watched my videos before, you know I usually would upload twice a week, and now it's been like once every like 1 to 2 weeks. I haven't been able to do anything. I've been like a vegetable right here on the couch right where Pearl is. I mean, obviously I'm taking care of my kids all day. I'm a stay-at-home mom. My husband goes to work, but like in my free time during the weekends, whenever my husband is home at night, like I couldn't do anything. I couldn't cook, I couldn't clean. I was just sick, I was tired. So I'm definitely like trying to get back on track again now that I'm feeling better. And I'm not planning on like bombarding you guys with pregnancy content. I'm planning on doing like my normal like homemaking type videos. If I get requests to do pregnancy videos, I'm not like necessarily opposed to it, but like I don't want you guys to feel like, oh, like I subscribed for this and now like your channel is all about your pregnancy, you know, like I want to post what you guys want to see. So let me know in the comments any video requests that you have, especially for the month of November, pregnancy or not. Obviously I'm going to be doing like Christmas videos coming up. So I know we're not even Halloween yet, but I'm just like thinking ahead for next month. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys want to see right now moving forward, what you want to see for the rest of the year. And I would really like to get back on an upload schedule. For a while there, I was doing every Tuesday and Friday. And then because I got pregnant and I just couldn't post 2 videos a week, I just had to stop doing that. So that's another thing. Let me know in the comments. Do you guys like whenever you watch someone and they have like a schedule, like set days whenever they upload so that you know when to expect their videos, or does that like not matter to you? Just let me know. because I obviously want to like post what you guys want to see, and yeah, I just am interested in your feedback. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you for going on this journey with me, and just cats. And I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye.